everyone, you're welcome to my Beautifier community youth. Once again, this is your host, Jamesboy Imani. These are our usual series, Messages of Truth, which I oftenly bring to you according to the inspiration that I feel God touches my heart to present. I hope these topics are blessing someone out there. And I have this strong belief that someone is getting edified and transformed due to these messages, because I personally believe that these messages transformed me myself. So it's just a matter of testifying through these messages. Today our topic is going to be choosing friendships. The first important question is, what is friendship? Because I believe that many people might not really know what entails of friendship, what friendship entails. In simple definition, I would say this is a relationship between two people who care about each other. It can be platonic or even romantic. So friendship can apply in two aspects. Friendship can be platonic, which is purely friendship with no extraordinary kind of romantic attachments, and whereas we see also there's also the romantic part of friendship. But in whichever way it might be, friendship is necessary, because even if you speak about issues to do with marriage, I believe is much more fundamentally very strong if it is based on friendship. And I also believe that marriages that have outlasted the storms, marriages that have gone for a very long period of time, that have endured all challenges, are usually marriages that came as a result of the married people being friends first. So friendship is a very important factor. Now, of course, one might ask, what is the importance of friendship? What is the importance? As we all know, God created us, and one thing I know, God created us as interdependent beings, which means we rely on one another. No one can live independently, separately, completely from the rest. Otherwise, survival would be hard. In fact, our interdependence has even gone to the level of there's interdependence between nature and people. So no living being can really survive on its own. Now you imagine we, the people who are created in God's image, how can that happen? And we even see that example because it reached a time God saw it necessary and decided to get Adam a friend, and that was Eve. So our Bible reading today will come from the book of Proverbs, chapter 13, verse 20, which says, "He who walks with the wise grows wise, but a companion of fools suffers harm." I don't think I need to really elaborate on this, but one thing I know that I can inform you is that the book of Proverbs was written by the world's wisest man, I believe, who ever lived and will ever live. That is the ordinary man apart from Jesus. That was King Solomon. So he's the one who wrote this, and he said, "He who walks with the wise grows wise, but a companion of fools suffers harm." So basically, friendship is good, but also we need the wisdom to discern the right kind of people we need to associate or relate with. The type of companionship that we surround ourselves with highly determines our destinies. This can be positively or it can be negatively. So the choice is usually in the hands of the beholder, and that is you. Now, we will have some few Bible examples which I wrote down for you to illustrate the good kind of friendships which existed, which I believe we can emulate from. One, it was Naomi and Ruth. The story of Naomi and Ruth is found in the book of Ruth in the Bible, that is the Old Testament. Ruth was a daughter-in-law to Naomi. It happened the time there was famine in Bethlehem. There was famine in Bethlehem in the land of Judah, and people went for refuge, yeah, to seek survival in the land of Moab. Those are the Moabites. This was Naomi and the husband, who was called Elimelech, and Elimelech also, they had two sons, and they went to the Moab. Later, Naomi lost her husband. The husband died. Then, after some time, the sons also got married. They married two Moabite women. One son married a woman called Orpah. Then the other one married a woman called Ruth. And unfortunately, too, after some time, they also passed away. So things tended to become better and things improved. The conditions from where Naomi had run from improved. And Naomi thought it wise to go back to where she came from. But this time she really felt it was wise for her to separate with the daughters-in-law. So she told them, you're still young, you can still go find your way and get married once again. Although it was sad enough, Orpah decided to move and go and look for another life. But Ruth clung on Naomi. One extraordinary point here which stands out the most is Naomi told them, go back to where you come from, and even go back and get married and even worship the gods you were used to worshiping. But Ruth rejected this, and she said, you know what, from now on, yeah, your people will become my people. Whatever you do will become my culture. The God you worship will become my God. So you can see, by faith, Ruth made a choice and decided to go with Naomi, who served the living God, And if Ruth never really made this choice, salvation would have been affected, because Ruth comes from the lineage. Ruth is in the generation which is the lineage of Jesus. So she's somehow a great something to Jesus, because Ruth married Boaz. Boaz was the father of Obed. Obed was the father of Jesse. Jesse was the father of King David. And as you know, as this lineage continues to break down, this is the same lineage where you see Joseph comes from. Joseph, who was the husband to Mary. Mary, who was the mother to Jesus. So you see, when Ruth made a right decision by choosing the right kind of friend, you can see the results. Jesus even came through her lineage. This was a good, positive friendship. And there are many qualities we learn from this too. The other good example, we can see Moses and Aaron were brothers, but at the same time they were friends, and their story can be found in the book of Exodus. They fought together, they stood by one another, each one complimented and on the other person's weakness, because as you can see, Aaron used to speak on behalf of Moses, because Moses had a stuttering problem. Yeah, he had that stammering. So Aaron used to make it up on behalf of Moses, and he speaks. So their friendship and union led to the salvation, actually the Israelites being saved from Egypt to Canaan. So because of these good friendships, you can see the results came out nice. The other good example is David and Jonathan. Jonathan was the son of King Saul, and at that time, of course, God had anointed David to be king. So King Saul was hunting for him. He decided to disregard God's interest and decided now to take matters into his own hands. So he wanted to kill King David in order for this kind of prophecy not to come true. But nevertheless, you can see that Jonathan was now acting against the father's wishes, because he considered David a best friend, actually almost like a brother. So he's actually on many occasions he looked for ways to protect David, and David would not have been king if it wasn't for Jonathan, because Jonathan is the one who used to give him the warnings of what the father planned ahead of time. This story, you can find it in the book of 1 Samuel. That was a good friendship, a friendship which even does not know the boundaries of blood relation, genuine friendship, yeah, because of connection in qualities and integrity. So you can see these people chose right to be each other's friends, and the results were good. And later also, of course, David also fulfilled his pledge, because later Jonathan died, but David remembered the things that Jonathan did for him, and also remembered one of his sons in order to help his generation to live on. These are the kind of friendships. The other friendship that stands out is the one of Elijah and Elisha. Here we see Elisha left everything behind in order to follow Elijah. He even left his own family, left whatever he was doing to follow Elijah. They were both powerful prophets, and their story can be found in 1st and 2nd Kings. Later, of course, we see that Elijah, on going to heaven, Elisha sought for a double anointing, which he got. Yeah, and later he walked in the footsteps of Elijah. So had Elisha not chosen the right company of moving with Elijah, probably we would not be reading about him today. Yeah. So these great friendships, because of how great they were, it's why they are relevant in our times right now. The other friendship which I saw was the friendship between Jesus and mankind, which was very strong. Jesus is God, we all know. He's God Almighty. He lives in heaven. But he left his seat of throne and comfort to come down on earth in order to suffer, face misery, face shame, and humiliation, in order to save me and you from the trap of the devil called sin. And of course we see he succeeded, because through his death we gained our freedom, we got the grace, and now we no longer live under the chains of the devil, but we are free under the grace of Jesus. So that is another very great friendship. So these are some of the examples I got in the Bible, though there are very many. Now, as we speak about good, there's always also the bad. Now, on the part of the bad examples that I spotted out in the Bible, there is the example of Samson and Delilah. This story can be found in the book of Judges. Samson was anointed, he had the power of God, he was a judge, he was very strong, very mighty. God's strength moved in him. He used to lift the gates in the city, he used to kill lions with his bare hands, he used to kill armies. Yeah, there's a time he killed a large number of people just using a jawbone, But he had a source of strength which was in his hair, and nobody knew about it. Of course, the enemies, the Palestinians, now decided, the Philistines, they said, the Philistines, they said, we need to know the source of the strength of this Samson. Now, Samson, because of his pride, I think, it reached a level of pride and carelessness and, those recklessness. He decided to make friendship with the wrong company. Yet this company had been planted by the enemy to find the source and the root of his strength, which would later lead to his demise, humiliation and suffering, where later, after they found out that his source of strength was the hair, Delilah cut it off, and later when these people came to hold him, he shook himself, but the power was no longer there, the strength was no longer there. As we all know, they gouged out his eyes, though we thank God that later, after his repentance, God restored his strength, where he killed all the enemies. But still, his end is not really a fun end, because he made the wrong choice. He made the wrong decision to hang out with the wrong people, which led to wrong results. Now, the other very worst kind of association was the one between King Ahab and Jezebel, who was the wife, the queen. At that time, the story is found in 1st and 2nd Kings. Jezebel, first of all, brought the worship of Baal. Jezebel also brought this thing of killing the prophets, God's prophets. She decided to look out for all those prophets and try to kill them and eliminate them completely, because she did not want to hear the truth, She brought a lot of immorality. In fact, the spirit of Jezebel is a spirit of rebellion, disobedient, immorality. Everything that is against God was in this woman, And of course later you remember when Ahab admired the vineyard of a simple civilian called Naboth, and Naboth refused to sell his family land. Ahab got distressed and stressed about it. Later Jezebel planned an evil plot in order to help Ahab gain this vineyard, and they killed who? They killed Naboth, and Ahab took over this thing, the vineyard. Though later, as we see, Elijah came, the prophets rebuked them and all those things. Actually not Elijah, but there's a prophet who rebuked them. Now the thing is, they decided now their work is to harass, seek for all prophets, and do what? Kill them. So later you see their end. Ahab was killed in what? Terribly, because of his disobedience. Jezebel was thrown from a tall building, fell down, and yeah, her body pieces were eaten by wild animals, animals. That's an ending of a bad kind of friendship. Then of course in brief there's the one of Eve and the serpent, because this friendship, I believe, is the one which led to the sin that we still face right now in our times. Just because Eve spared time to entertain the serpent, who's the enemy. So as we see here, it is very dangerous to even spare a second or even a minute to listen to a wrong person, because what you listen and what you watch and who you engage with highly determines the decisions you will make, highly influence your spirit. They could totally change your mindset. So as you can see here, the serpent managed to control Eve's mind and heart and influenced her to eat the fruit, which also later was transferred to Adam, who also ate the fruit, which led to the fall of man, and that's how they were thrown away from the paradise. And that's how sin came to earth. So you can see, had Eve not entertained the serpent, life would be very nice. The other one, of course, wrong friendships, was these were brothers, but at the same time, as you can see, their friendship and companionship was terrible. The brothers of Joseph, who were jealous of Joseph. Their story is found in Genesis chapter 37 to 50, chapter 37 to chapter 50. This one sat down, later Joseph's father, Jacob, sent Joseph to go and check for the brothers. The brothers used to be herdsmen, shepherds, to take them something to eat. But instead of them appreciating what he had come for, they saw him from a distance and plotted to kill him. Though we thank God that this plan didn't happen, and somehow it was changed. They threw him in a system, which is later they again got him out from, then decided to sell him, where he was sold to these people as a slave, these slave traders, and he was taken to Egypt. Everyone knows that story. Later, of course, Joseph triumphed and became second in command in Egypt. But regardless, if you see these brothers, their company led to something terrible. Bad company leads to bad results. Bad company leads to foolish results. They decided to sell their own brother, even forgetting that they would hurt the father, because this thing affected the father for very many years, and I'm sure they regretted what they did. So in the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 15 verse 33, in the Amplified Bible, it says, "Do not be deceived. Evil companionships corrupt good morals." So this means, don't let anyone lie to you. Do not even lie to yourself. Evil company affects good character. Morals means character. So if you stay with bad company, it's just a matter of time, you will become like that, and people will start seeing it, because everything and your works will just portray it. It happens naturally. So the wise thing here is to choose the good company. Now, what are the qualities of friendships that we should desire, and what are the qualities of friendships that we should keep away from? I think I should start with a bit signs of the wrong kind of friends. It's good to know the kind of friend who is not right for you. No one is a bad person, but there are people whose characters are not good for you, depending on whatever you want in this life. So these are brief. I'm going to just read through the outlines of signs or indicators of a bad friend. 1, does not know God. Yeah, is not godly. A person who does not know God, bad friend. A person who talks badly about you to others, that's a bad friend. Pressures you to do things that you don't want to do. Yeah, here we are speaking about bad things. Someone who insistently, consistently tells you to do something. For example, keeps asking you to smoke, and you keep telling them, I don't want to smoke. Someone who keeps doing this, pushing you to doing the wrong thing, bad friend. The other one takes advantage of you. Yeah, someone who exploits you. Yeah, who uses you for their benefit. That's all. This is selfish. Spills your secret. Yeah, has no confidentiality. Someone who has no confidentiality, that's not a real friend. Gives wrong advice intentionally. Someone who you ask or seek advice from and they intentionally give you the wrong advice, yeah, or push you to doing the wrong thing. That's a wrong friend. Puts you down. This is by undermining you, humiliating you, always speaking things that kill your esteem. That is a person you have to keep away. Lies a lot. You cannot have a friend who tells lies. A person who lies a lot to you is not your friend. That is not someone you can call a friend, because friendship entails the opposite of this. A person who holds grudges and unforgiving, someone who's always, you do something wrong right now, they remind you what you did 5 years back. They say in 2005 you did that same thing, in 2010 you did the same thing. That one is someone you have to keep away from. They are not positive. These are just negative people. They are pessimists, always on the negative side, you know. Then the other one, of course, they are never available when you need them. Yeah, but they are always available when they need you to. They expect you to be available for them. But when you need them, they are always not available. So they're only available when they have problems for you to help them. Those are not good friends. Now, these are briefly the qualities of a good friend. If you have such a person, keep them. If you don't have such a person, seek for them. This is the wisdom. 1, honesty. They are honest. A good friend is honest to you in every aspect, even if it means going against your wish or even annoying you. They'll still be honest and tell you, you know, what you're doing is wrong, or what you're doing is right. They do not tell lies. Accepting, that means they take you as you are. Yeah, they just accept you as you are, and their best interest is to see you improve. Yeah, they're non-judgmental. They accept you as you are. Of course, they don't keep judging. They mostly focus on your strengths and ignore your weakness, so that you become a better person. They are loyal. This is someone who will stand with you even if the whole world is against you. This is someone who will stand with you even when you don't expect anyone to stand with you. Loyal. Yeah, someone who will not betray you at all costs. Yeah, respectful. Mutual respect is important. Respectful means both sides. You don't expect only to be respected, you also respect them. So respect is a very good quality for a real good friend. Then have your best interests in mind. This is someone who puts your interests first. Yeah, they always do things for your benefit. They want you to succeed. They want you to prosper. They want you to be happy. Those are the kind of friends you have to look for. They are supportive. Yeah, as they have best interest, they support you. They are supportive. They give you time. They listen. Yeah, listen intently and seek ways to advise you. They look for ways to help you out. They make the time. You know, they say no one can ever be too busy for someone that they care for. So if someone says they are always busy, you know, to give you time, then please eliminate that person, because that person, you're not their priority. That's not a real friend. Similar interests. Definitely friendship brings together people with similar interests. It is very hard for you to be a person who does not drink and you like going to church, and you be a friend with someone who drinks and is always in clubs. You see, those interests are clashing, so there's no friendship there, because friendship means a meeting point. Yeah, an all-round friendship should entail this. Then the other one is are available in tough times. There's just being available, but not in tough times. But a person who's there with you in the hard times is the person you have to treasure. Now, as we speak here in brief, don't focus on always being on the receiving end. Don't always expect people to be good friends only to you. These things, you should also use them as a mirror to see maybe you are the wrong friend. Are you a good friend to other people? Yeah. Don't just focus on those people who are not good friends to you or who are good friends to you. Are you also a good friend to someone else, or you are an example of a bad friend to someone else? If you're a friend who is a bad kind of friend, please, it is a chance for you to also use these points to transform and also be a better person. Yeah, because it's very good for us to expect good, yeah, to give others what we expect them to also give us. That's what God asks us for. So today our lesson is choosing the right friendships will bring happiness to your life and have a positive impact on your mental, physical, and spiritual health. So the right friendship will help you succeed in all spheres of your life. Thank you very much. This is Jamesboy Imani. Continue following us, my Beautifier Community Youth, Uganda. For more episodes, that is on Facebook, and also subscribe on our channel, my Beautifier Community Youth, Uganda, on YouTube, for notifications every time we upload something new. Otherwise, God bless you. These are messages of truth. Jamesboy Imani. Bye bye till next time. God bless you.